Hello and welcome to Turing Dev Talks. I am your host, Callie, and I'm tuning in from New York. Today we have not only one, but two guests on the panel. Danijel leads the supply ops, profiles, and support team at Turing and is joining us from Croatia in Europe. And Jasmina leads the profiles team at Turing and is signing in from Torino, Italy. So we have quite a diverse panel here today, and I'm sure we're going to get some really great insights into the internal workings of both the profiles and supports teams, how they help developers create better profiles, and how they ensure that developers get matched faster at Turing. So, hey, Danijel, hey, Jasmina, how are you guys doing? How has this new year been for you so far?
Great, Callie, great. With Turing, it's always great working remotely and meeting people from all around the world. It's always a good start of any year. So this one too.
Hi, Callie. Hi, Danijel. As Danijel said, this year, the beginning of the year was really hectic, but in a good way and really amazing. Working with people from all around the world, Europe, Asia, Africa, South America is really amazing. So for now, it's going really well.
Great. Happy to hear that. Yeah, same here, honestly. Yeah, so this year has definitely been hectic on my side as well. Clients are really excited to hire a bunch more engineers. So honestly, I'm really excited to see more developers join the Turing community. So on that note, Danijel, I'm sure a lot of developers that are listening in today would be really happy to see someone from the support team join the panel. So thanks for being here. I definitely want to give you guys a big shout out for all the amazing work your team is doing. I know it's not easy to handle so many questions while ensuring that all of the questions get answered. So if you don't mind, can you help our audience understand the role of the support team and how you guys are helping budding developers get matched at Turing?
Of course. Role of support team at Turing, as in any support team actually in the world, is to help. So that would be the first word that I would like to use. So we are helping developers to get through Turing process, to get to know more about Turing. And actually our role is to get them and be there for them every step of the way, to be support not only in the sense of the team, but support really in the sense of developers' journey through Turing. So that is our primary role. We are doing this on two separate levels. One level is answering email and chat tickets that developers are having. And the second level is, of course, explaining them what Turing is, how it actually grows, if Turing really satisfies their needs, what they need to do to join, and so on. So one role would be helping, and other role would be explaining. And both roles are, I would say, equally important.
Gotcha. And just curious, do you have any idea like how many queries you guys are getting a day or a week or a month, just to give our audience some context?
Yeah, so 3,000 to 4,000 queries a week would be the number. So I really want to give kudos and shout out to everyone in the support team who is answering all of these queries in 12-hour SLA. So it's really amazing to work with such an amazing team. And I'm really happy to be privileged to actually work with them and lead them.
That is amazing. Thank you for answering all those queries. And it's really cool to see also how many engineers are asking Turing questions and interested in working with our clients. So that's really exciting. Now, Jasmina, I have a similar question for you. So we know that as the first step, developers need to create their profiles on the Turing platform. So can you help us understand the role of the profiles team and how you help developers through this process?
Yes, of course, Kali. So the role of the profile team is actually to work on building developers' resumes. So we are here for developers and we are here to support them in the final stage of the vetting process. So once they pass all the necessary MCQs and automated coding challenge, we are there to help them to build the resume and highlight their experience, their hands-on projects in the best possible way in order to present them to the clients. So that is why the profile team is important. Because, for example, when we think about applying for a job, right? What is the first thing that comes to our mind? We find the job ad and we're thinking, I have to go through my CV and see if it is good, right? The same thing applies here. So before getting matched with a client, before sending your resume to the client, we need to make sure it fulfills the criteria and that it is up to our standards. So that is exactly where the profile team jumps in and help developers build their resumes in the best possible way and highlight their experience.
Awesome. And so when you are helping a developer, fix up their resume and make it as marketable as possible, let's say, I'm curious, are you jumping on Zoom with them or is it more through email? What is that interaction like?
So first of all, we try to edit the resume because our goal is to get developers matched as soon as possible. In case we do need some help from them, some clarification about the projects or tech stacks they used or something like that, we need to ask them, of course. And our means of communication, the primary means of communications are WhatsApp and email. If there are still some misunderstandings or something is not clear enough, then we can jump on a call with them and lead them through the platform and explain what needs to be done.
Great, great. So it sounds like if you're a Turing developer hoping to become a developer, make sure you have your correct email and WhatsApp number on there so we can get in contact with you.
Yeah, that is extremely important for us, guys.
Great. So quick comment here. I just want to add the fact that Turing offers long-term full-time opportunities in over 100 technologies to senior developers from across the globe. So if you have 3 or more years of experience and are confident in the skill sets that you possess, please head on over to turing.com/jobs and apply today. So my next question is for you, Danijel. Let's assume that a developer finds themselves stuck when creating a profile. It could be anything really, the assessments, their resume, etc. How can they help themselves before reaching out to the support team?
Of course. So there are 2 important steps that the developers can take before reaching out to either support or profile team. First step is, of course, to see which skills they are mentioning in their CV. And did they really take all the relevant tests for all of these technologies? If they didn't, my advice would always be to take them. Because with technologies for us, if you want to get a job, it's always like more the merrier. More the technologies that you take, better chances you have. That would absolutely be the first thing that I would advise. Second thing that I would advise is to actually, when describing the experience, try to think about hands-on experience. People tend to write really lengthy experiences about what they did in life. And in business, people who are reading these CVs usually don't have time to go through novels. So we want like on-point experience, hands-on experience, something that will enable a client to actually catch for that experience and choose that developer, not somebody else. Third thing that I would say, which is also very important, is if you can add pictures, if you can add links, if you can add proof of your experience and what you actually did, that goes especially for mobile developers, please do that. It's always simple. We are all visuals, especially now in 21st century when everything is remotely. And when you have pictures, when you have experiences in your profile, it really helps a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And so let's say, a dev, goes through all of that, but still they want some support. So my follow-up question is, how exactly can they reach out to Turing for help? And what does the Turing team do as a next step to support them?
So support@turing.com is the email address, which is the email address of support. Whoever finds a question and support about profiles, either they will answer it themselves or they will as appropriate team to reach out to developer for help. There is also a third option, which I think that not many developers know about, which I would like to mention, and it's Help Center. We actually have Help Center at Turing with all the relevant links. Developers can click on Help Center and find a link about how to edit your profile, how to improve your profile, how to add your experience, read there, and they will find some information there. So that is also very, very important.
Great. Great. So the Help Center is a great resource. And also you can always email support@turing.com. Awesome. So Jasmina, we've heard some great tips from Danijel on just creating a resume and profile when looking for a job, but I'm sure there's lots of common mistakes that people make. So can you shed some light on just some of those common mistakes that you see on a daily basis?
Of course, Kali. So as Danijel mentioned, one of the most common mistakes that developers make sometimes when it comes to their resume is actually not focusing on their hands-on experience. Rather, they would write a lot about maybe the company or the app that they developed or website, but they wouldn't focus on themselves, what they did on that project, which tech stacks they used, how did they contribute, and so on. So that would be maybe the most common mistake, because we do have a lot of developers who have more than 20 years of experience, even 30. In those cases, well, it is not recommended to focus that much on the past experience because, well, when we think about 21st century, this time now, we have a lot of tech stacks that didn't exist at that time. And on the other hand, a lot of tech stacks used at that time are not used anymore. So the best thing is just to focus on the most recent experience that they would like to highlight and to focus on tech stacks, which they would choose to work on in the future. Another common mistakes that we do see every day also includes the summary. So at the beginning of Turing resume, every developer has to write a summary. However, the summary should be short and straight to the point. Very often we do see a lot of personal information, such as, for example, I like to read books, watch movies, and something like that, which is, well, not that relevant, right? For a software developer or software engineer when it comes to presenting their resume to the client. Also, something else that Danijel mentioned is that we have a lot of screenshots and links missing, especially for mobile developers. That is really important because, for example, when we look at the resume from a perspective of a client, we see that somebody developed a mobile app and that it was published on App Store or Play Store. However, there is no link. There are no screenshots. So how can I know if that app is still there, what that app actually is, how many people download it, and so on. So that is also really important. And when it comes to other mistakes, well, something that you mentioned in the beginning, something that is extremely crucial for us, which is CV, right? So before writing the resume, we need to have CV. The CV needs to be uploaded on the platform. It needs to be in English as well, because Turing is a company based in the United States. So we need to have resume in English. We need to have the right contact number and email, because whenever we need help, we need to reach out to developers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the mistakes, I think that will be the most common issues that we see daily.
Great. And is there, any, I guess, quick and easy tips that we haven't mentioned so far that you would want to just highlight on how a developer could rectify these mistakes while they're working on their profile?
Yes, of course. So as I mentioned, let's try to look from a perspective of a client. What would a client like to see in that resume? They would like to see who this developer is. So I would just like to advise developers to focus on themselves. Don't write too much about the app itself or the company you worked for. Focus on you, on your experience, on your role on these projects, on your tech stacks, what you did, how you contributed, and then also write the outcome of this project. Be specific, add numbers The more the merrier. So when we have numbers, we are really going straight to the point, right? So when it comes to the experience, I would just highlight once more to focus on relevant hands-on projects. For example, we do have some situations when professors apply on Turing, or assistants, researchers, and so on, which unfortunately is not relevant because it's not hands-on experience, so that doesn't count. However, it doesn't matter. If there is any hands-on experience, please do add it, even though somebody was professor, but we don't want to read, as Danijel mentioned, novels or narratives, right? Another tip that I would like to add is also focusing on summary part. As I mentioned, it needs to be straight to the point. So don't write too much. 3 to 5 sentences is okay. And it is better to write about who you are as a developer. So software developer, mobile developer, and so on, how many years of experience you have, and what tech stacks do you prefer. That is enough. And also, it is good to add a profile picture, but a very professional one. So pictures from social media or something similar is a no. And when it comes to the tips, I think that would be it.
Okay. Yeah, great. I love that. I love all of those tips. Keep it short and sweet, focus on yourself.
Correct.
Yeah, amazing. So jumping over back to you, Danijel, I kind of want to dive into these deep developer profiles. So can you tell us a little bit about these deep developer profiles and just elaborate on that for the audience?
Of course, of course. So you can think about deep developer profile like combination of everything that you did on Turing, like your test results, your coding challenge result, your interview result, everything is combined with what you entered in your profile, your experience in each particular tech stack. Everything is combined in one deep profile, which really tells how good are you in these particular skills, in the coding challenge, in the experience that you have so far. And on the basis of that deep developer profile, we are really trying to find the best possible match that we can to these particular skills, to these particular test results, to these particular technologies. That is something that is very important for us, because Turing doesn't grade only technical experience. We also grade soft skills, which sometimes get forgotten. There is, how good is your English? What is your work experience so far? So one of the tests that are mandatory in going through Turing journey is work experience. So when we take that work experience, skills results test, the coding challenge, soft skills results, combine all of that with your profile results, like your experience in technology, your availability, we get deep developer profile. And that actually enables people, awesome people at Turing, who are working with our clients to really find the best possible developer for the best possible job.
Awesome. Yeah, and I would also say that it's the clients, it gives them a really well-rounded picture when they see your deep developer profile. Not only are they seeing that work experience, they're seeing your technical skills, your soft skills, just a really nice, well-rounded picture to help us at Turing better match the developers. So yeah, love the deep developer profiles for sure.
To add to that, that is once again why I need once again emphasize why it is important for each and every developer on Turing who is listening to this. Please take additional tests. More the tests that you take, it will really help you to get matched faster.
Yes, totally agree. So Danijel, we do get quite a few questions from developers that are, have completed their profiles and they're waiting to be matched to the client. So do you have any insight onto the most common reasons that someone may be in this waiting period, if you will?
Yeah, there are insights which are, some of them are really common, and I think they're important to mention. One of them we already did, like the quality of the profile and hands-on experience. Because if we don't know what you actually did and where you're actually good, it's quite possible that we may miss a perfect client for you. Second reason I also mentioned previously is additional MCQs, additional tests that developers can take. Again, more tests gives better picture. That's absolutely relevant. That's for sure the case. But also third thing that gets overlooked is I think that people really need to understand that when they are waiting for a client, they need to put themselves in the shoes of that client, how they look to the client. So to be even more specific, I had a conversation with a developer once who had 3 years of experience, but when he came working for Turing, he asked for $100 per hour. This is not something which is actually realistic, that will actually paint somebody unprofessional at start. Like, be realistic to yourself. Like, look what you did, look at your experience, see where you want to be, and really take Turing as a journey. Like, every step of Turing journey will get you to the client. Once you complete your engagement with one client, you will get another, because Turing is not only a job platform who matches developer with one client and that's it. We actually want to be a platform. We are a platform that will give you possibilities to work for another and another and another client. You know, what we usually like to say is, when you find a job at Turing, you will never look for a job anywhere else. And that is something that we really want to do. But for us to be able to do that, and we all have a common goal, we all need to find the best jobs for these people. Like, we all want best jobs for our developers. I think that's the common goal of everyone in Turing. We all want a bunch of happy people working for us. That's something that developers can help us by putting expectations realistically, by taking tests at Turing, by putting their experience in their profile. If they don't know how to do it, if they are in doubt, because some people are, we will help them, we will guide them. Ask us. That's why we're here.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, what I'm really hearing from this conversation is that the support team and the profiles team together are on a mission to help developers be as presentable, as marketable as possible, so that when customers see their profiles, they really, look like the rock stars that they are, and that you guys are really here just to help all of our engineers get matched with amazing opportunities and amazing jobs. So really appreciate that. I think this discussion has been really interesting. I imagine that we've answered a lot of questions for all of the developers out there that are listening, especially those related to support and profiles at Turing. But before we go, I do want to ask, can you both share some final advice on what developers can do to get matched faster? Should they work on their profiles to make them better? Should they learn more skills? Just your, final last words of advice would be great.
Oh, well, I wouldn't be able to choose between these two. I think both of them are equally important, because unfortunately, developers cannot get matched with one without the other one. So when it comes to getting matched, working on your resume is extremely important. As we mentioned previously, we need to see the hands-on experience. We need to see the projects and tech stacks developers used while developing some apps or websites. But on the other hand, we don't only work on the profiles. That is something that you mentioned here, so learning more skills. When we are sure that the profile is ready to go, but developer needs some more skills, developer needs to take some more MCQs in order to increase the chances to get matched, then we do reach out to developer and give advice. We say, hi, look, we have seen on your platform that you haven't taken certain MCQs for certain skills. It would be good because it increases the chances to get matched. And of course, there are more opportunities, right? So as Danijel mentioned a couple of times, the more, the better. So do take MCQs and also do work on your profiles, because both are equally important in order to get matched with the clients.
Amazing.
To add to that, I will just go with example. Sometimes people say that I like to work with React, but I wouldn't like to work with Python anymore. And then I usually tell them like, okay, look, we will note your preference that you prefer React, but please take Python, because we may have multiple clients that maybe need a developer who works predominantly in React but knows a bit of Python, so who can be full stack if needed. So this will always help you. Never omit what you can do. Don't underestimate yourself, even if it's not your first preference. Paint full picture. Don't paint just a part of it. If you paint a full picture, then we can, for sure, to use the metaphor to its fullest, sell it to the best bidder.
Amazing. Thank you both. That was really, really helpful. Danijel, Jasmina, thank you so much for joining today. I really enjoyed talking to you both, and I hope our audience found this useful too. So for everybody out there, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop us an email at support@turing.com. And let us know in the comments below what you'd like to learn in the next video. Give us a big thumbs up if you liked this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to Turing.com. We'll be back with many such Turing developer stories, but until then, stay safe and click on the link in the description below to apply to Turing. Thank you both. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.